And these are the common thing that we do with all NSSO data set. So irrespective of whether you are working with the employment, unemployment, health, education, or any other survey data set, you have to do all the things that are listed here under heading of contents. So as a first step, we extract an NSSO data set. I'll let you know what this extraction mean, why I'm saying that this is the extraction. After having an extraction of data, we merge different data file. Okay. In some cases, we append one file, importing information from the other file. Then we generate unique ID for each observation. So in an SSO data set, we see we get a data set at a household level, we get data set at personal level. So at a household level, we generate unique ID for each household. Similarly, when we work with the personal file, person level file, we generate one unique ID for each person. We generate weight also. So we work with the weight to make our sample estimate correspond to the population estimates. Because this one is the survey data set, and this survey, um, so so we require to make our estimate equal to the population estimate. So for that purpose, you use weight. There are different kind of weight: frequency weight, analytical weight, population weight, importance weight. We'll talk about all those later, but for the time being, we just remember. So this is the one requirement when you work with the NSSO data set, and we always generate weight. And the purpose of working with the weight, we want to make our sample correspond to the population. Yes, any? Yes.
Also, actually, we will find the one of them.
Just a minute. Okay. So um, there's one student, he came and she was inquiring about something. Okay. Probably she mistakenly knocked me. Okay. Mm, so you're talking about the weight. So so we'll generate weight and also talked about the usage of weight. And after then, you will make some table using table and tabulate command. So these are the general things that we do when we work with the NSSO data set. After then, the specific things comes. If you are working with the employment unemployment, then you will do some specific tasks relating to employment and unemployment thing. Similarly, if you are working with some other round, let's take an example of health, then we do a calculations relating with the health statistics. So that comes later. But these things we do with all survey. So let's start with the first extraction uh, of data. After then you will move on the merging and so on. So probably you'll follow uh, the same order that given here. So these are the list of some important files that we require for data extraction. The first one is the README file, second one is the layout file, third one is the data file, and the fourth one is questionnaire. And it's not only for extraction purpose, even though when you work with the making table, then we frequently refer these files, especially README file and questionnaire. The questionnaire is just something that we refer again and again. Okay. Procedure of data extractions are these. So steps are there. So in the first step, what we do, we create a folder and place all our data into that. So I will tell you about it using this data. So of course, for making a folder, you do not require this data software. You just need to form and you make a folder on your computer, and you require to place everything there. That means all the NSSO data file. So as I told you, when we download NSSO data, apart from the file names written here, we'll get some other file also. We'll come onto that in a little bit. Since I'm giving you just an idea of what we will do when we work with the NSSO using this data, so let's have that idea, and after then we'll move on to the practical part and see how the data will be extracted and other things. So as I told you, first we create a folder and place everything there. Okay. Then we move on to the, and then we open this data and check data directory. If data directory is different, we change the data directory and make the folder that we created as a directory. And then after we start working with making a dictionary file. Once you have a dictionary file, you use a particular command, and using that particular command, we see your data will be extracted, and that is the procedure. So you can say that extracting data is a six-step procedure that are written here. So let's start working with, and after having an extraction, I will move on to the other things. So of course, after this there are many slides, but that I will use with, while working with Stata software. So when we start working with the NSSO data set, first question arises from where we get the data. Okay. So for getting the data, there are two sources. One is MOSFET. So this one is the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So from this particular website, we get all NSSO data. The second one is ICSSR. So ICSSR NSSO data, if you type, then this one is the data service of ICSSR, and again we get all NSSO data from here. I think for getting a data from both of these sources, we require to register particularly for getting an older data set. Since you are going to work with the recent data set, so recent data set that you download directly from the Mosby, probably without registering yourself. But in case of ICSSR, we require to register for getting all new and old data sets. And one more important thing is here, now all NSSO data are free, but prior to, I think, 4 and 5 years, we require to pay for each round of data, NSSO data. So since it is a free, now we do not have any issue for paying for that. So, so for getting a recent data set, you will use this download table data tab, and for older data set, we require to click on micro data catalog. So this you can experiment by yourself. Okay, I'm not going to do this thing here. So now I'm going to download the recent data. So recent data you will get from the download table and data. So when I click onto it, this window opens, and on this window we can see different survey data information. So the recent one is the time use survey. So the data is available for that also. The survey was done in January 2019 to December 2019. Below that, there is a link for getting data for PLFS 2018-19. Then there is a link for getting data on social consumption, health and education. So if you are working on the health, then you need to have a data from there. Then education data. For person with disability data, you need to click on this link 76. So look at, there are round number, NSSO 75, NSSO 76. Okay, so these all every NSSO survey and it comes in a round. Okay, so every year NSSO does one or other kind of survey, or sometimes it does more than one survey. So when NSSO is doing one survey, irrespective of nature of that survey, NSSO gives a name to that. Okay, so round 75, 76, 78, and so on. So for a periodic labor force survey, there are two rows. So in a one row you get a data for 2018-19. For the other row, where it is written periodic labor force survey micro level data, this gives you a data for 2017-18. Okay. Apart from the NSSO, you will get a data from the other source. Like if you are working with the annual survey of industries, you will get a data of that also. CPI data are available here. The statistical yearbook data are available. So that is the case. So since today we are going to work with the PLFS, so if you click onto this, this window opens. And here you can see unit level data for periodic labor survey 18-19. The first one is the README file, and from that README file, you will download all the relevant data. After then, there are few documents, which one relating with the estimation procedure, instruction to field staff, volume 1 and volume 2. So that we require also for working with the NSSO data set. So let's first download the data. So when we click onto the blue icon, we will get this PDF. Okay. So this PDF open, and for a data, look here in this table, file name are given HHV1, HHRV, pre-V1, pre-RV. Okay. So these are the data file. These all are data file. Okay. And information regarding the data file given here. So when we click onto this text document HHV1, okay, this page open, web page open, and we require to save this web page. So we need to save this one. So control save and save this one in a folder that you make on your computer. Okay, so save this one. So this procedure we need to follow for all data sets. So click on HHV1, HHRV, pre-V1, pre-RV. So this from here you will get a 4 data file. So you save all those data files and in your folder. After then, so this one is the data file. Now you have your data file. After then you go to this one, this red icon where it is written data layout PLFS XLS. So when you click this one, an Excel file will be downloaded. So look here, Excel file has been downloaded. So this is called a layout file. Okay. So I will tell you what this layout file means, but for an extraction, along with the data, we require this layout file also. Okay, and these are the other information relating with the data. This one is for notes for user. These are the information NSS, NSC, and MLT we use for generating weight. So look, the weight formula are given here, and this one is again important information for working with an NSSO dataset, which one is talking about primary key, common primary key, and from these variables, so basically these are the variable names: digit, FSU, serial number, Hamlet group, second stage stratum, and sample household. These all are serial and variables. You use these variables for making unique ID. So using all these variables, you can make a unique ID at a household level. Okay. For a personal level, we need to add one more variable, which one is the personal serial number, which one is not given here. Okay. So sample household, using all these information, we generate unique ID for each observation. Okay. So as I told you, when you work with the NSSO dataset, for extraction particularly, we require at least we require all these 4 files. Okay. So readme file, layout file, data file, questionnaire. When we read layout file, so we use questionnaire, and that helps you for reading layout file. Data file, of course, we use for extracting the data. So these are the procedure. Okay. So in a procedure, in a fourth step, okay, we are talking about for making a dictionary file. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Okay, after doing first 3 steps. So let's do first 3 steps. Okay. And this I also told you last time, but this procedure and this procedure we follow strictly when you work with the NSSO data set. So in my case, so this one is the PLFS. So I'm going to uh, so these are the data files. Okay, let's download the data. Okay, because anyhow I have to save all the data onto a different folder. Okay, so it will be better to download. This one is the data. This text file are data. So then the thing that you can see HS104. Let me use this one only. So I'm going to copy this one and making a folder on a desktop and going to save everything there first. So, so this one is NSSO. Let's give name NSSO. Open this one and save this one. So I've saved all the data here. Then I go onto that folder again, and from there I copied this supporting document in which I have layout file, estimation procedure, instruction to fill the staff and review file. So all supporting document I have here. So I'm copy this one. I'm going to paste in a folder that I created for this specific purpose. So, so, so see here. Now I have all the data file and relevant document in this particular folder. So what I do after, I open this data. So I'm opening this data 13. I have 14 also. So I open this one and first check the present working directory. So first check about the present working directory. So in the left corner, we can see here your folder named as document is present working directory. We can also type pwd and sorry pwd and this gives you information of present working directory. Okay. So present working directory is a document folder placed in OneDrive. Since which I saved everything in this particular folder, I want to make this folder as a working directory. So I copy the path. So after copying the path, I go onto this data, type this particular command cd. Cd is for changing directory, and under inverted comma, I place that working path. Sorry, place that path, and now you can see directory has changed, and now present working directory becomes the folder that I created just now. So pwd is this one, NSSO. So I have done till step 3. Okay. So I change the working directory, and now data folder has become present working directory. Now we move on to the fourth part, and working with the fourth part takes some time, and this one is important also. It is very, very important. Not only important, it is very, very important. So we make dictionary file using layout file. The question arises why it required to make a dictionary file. So let's and before getting that question, I think let's have a look of view of dictionary file. Okay, what exactly this dictionary file contains. So if I So, so actually these are the steps. Okay. So if you look on the format of dictionary file, so this one is the format of dictionary file. Okay. And it's looks you odd also. सर क्या दिखा रहे हैं? Okay. But just focus onto it. So this one is the format, and we form a dictionary file in a such in this form only. So we start with in file dictionary curly bracket, and in a curly bracket we can see first column, that one is str, then some number. Then you are having basically the variable names. Then there are percentage, then number, then s in every for all observations. So then after under inverted comma you are having something are written. Okay. Okay, so this one, and at the end we close this one with the curly bracket. Okay, so this one is the dictionary. You can say the view of dictionary file or format of the dictionary file. Okay, this is the same one. Okay, now let's move on to the question how you make this dictionary file. So for making a dictionary file, you will use layout file. So you will use the information provided in a layout file. So let's have a look of a layout file also. So when I go on to the NSSO, open the supporting document and open this data layout file. Then look here, this data layout file looks like this. So it is a Excel file. All information are stacked here either in a column or row form. So this one is the first column, second column, third column, and so on. The first column one is the serial number. Second column one is name. The full name are given. Then block information, item information, field length information, and byte position are given. And then after there is column for remark. So let's first understand what this all means. Serial number we know, and no need to explain that. Now let's move on to this name column, full name column. So in full name column, you can see it start with the file identification. Then we are having a schedule, quarter, visit, sector, and so on. Okay. Then after block, item, and so on. If you scroll below, then again we will find the same information in a different table. So in a second table, there are some heading. So this one is for second one is for file PER_FB. So this one is basically a data file, and this one is a personal level data file, and this one is the record length. In the first case, we are having a information for household file. So that file name is there, and file name is nothing else, but it is a data file name. It is a data file name. So layout file looks like this. Similarly, there are other information. Okay, so this one is the revisit information. Okay, so first visit, revisit, I mean to say earlier NSSO visit one household at a one time only when NSSO used to do employment unemployment survey, but since 2017-18 NSSO visit one household at least four time in a year. Okay, or yeah, at least 4 time in a year. Okay, for a one round of PLFS. Sorry, at most 4 time in a year. 4 times, almost 5 times. One more quarter has come 5 times. Okay. So that the cycle completes and each household at least visited at least 4 times. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you more about when exactly I will have look onto the data. Okay, so, but let's focus onto it. Let's understand what this layout file belong to. Okay, and so as I said, serial number, name, block, item code, field name, byte position are given. So for reading all these things, we require to use questionnaire. So let's open with the questionnaire, and once we have questionnaire in our hand, label to read that layout file. Can't see questionnaire here. Okay, that's the questionnaire. Questionnaire is not here. Let's open the second one. Yeah. So, in a section to fill the staff volume 2, you'll find a questionnaire. So, look here. So this one is a questionnaire, okay, for TLFS, and they are just schedule 0.0. So in this basic schedule, only basic informations are collected, like name of the state, village, district, investigator unit, and so on. This one is for identification of sample FSU. Codes are given, and when we scroll down, particular of field operations are given here, and this one is for list of hamlet, list and selection of hamlet group, and so on. So if you go down, okay, so that questionnaire finished, and schedule 10.4, which one is for our purpose for extracting the data set, is important. So we'll focus on to this particular thing, this particular questionnaire only, schedule 10.4. So again, 10.4 is start with the collecting information, basic information. So it start with the 0, and 0 under square bracket is nothing else, but it is a block information. So an NSSO divides its questionnaire in a different block, and that block start with the 0. So 0 means 0 block, 1 means 1 block, 2 means 2 block, and so on. It's a block. So in a 0 block, descriptive identification of sample household are given, and in a serial number 1, it listed state, union, territory, 2 district, and so on. Okay. In identification of sample household, again we see there are many questions. Codes are given below there, then particulars of field operation, and so on. So you'll find out many information here, demographic particular of the household number. Since we are trying to understand the layout file, so let's open that layout file again. Okay. So in a layout file, the first information one is for field identification, second one is for schedule, and the third one is for quarter, and the fourth one is for visit. In a questionnaire, I think few informations are taken from the schedule 00. It's the same, I think it's the same. Okay. Uh, this one is for revisit. So there are two questionnaires. One is for first visit, one is for revisit. Okay. When we read the detail about the PLFS survey and how the PLFS survey is conducted, what is first visit, what is revisit. Okay. So let get to know more about all these things. Okay. So since those are the theoretical discussion, I'm not going to consider that. But in case if you have any doubt, then let me know about that later. But since we are talking about the process of extracting, and in that process you use layout file. So this information that you are given here, okay. So I think in a first layout data file, layout file, the first table one is for uh, any household characteristics. So schedule it is a 10.4 schedule quarter. When in a quarter, when investigator visited a particular household, visit means, as I said, each household surveyed at least 4 times in a year. Four time, how they do? Four, not I think at most 4 times. Again, I'm going to head out. So visit is here at most 4 times. So first visit household surveyed 4 times. Second visit household surveyed 3 times. Third visit 2 times, and last visit only 1 time in a one round. Okay, in a one round. In another round, again the older household taken into a consideration, so that each household survey at least 4 times. But as I said, those are the theoretical discussions, so we'll talk about that later. Here, all these names belonging to the questions given in the questionnaire. So again, file identification, schedule, quarter, visit are mentioned in questionnaire. So, and that's why these are here. So everything that we can see, again the full name, are basically taken from the questionnaire. Okay. Because, and this block 1 is, as I am talking about block 0, block 1, block 2. So the schedule name is belonging to block 1. Sector is also belonging to 1, and state UT code 1 is from 0. Again, you have a look on questionnaire. Look here, the block 0 contains information regarding the state, district, sub-district, town, hamlet, and so on. 1 is on the serial number of sample pages. So it is starting with the 1, and file identification. Then it is starting with the schedule. Second one is the schedule. Okay. So all these names that are given in the layout file are basically from the questionnaire. So you can directly, if you have any doubt on any of the name, or you want to know more about that, you refer questionnaire, and in a questionnaire you will get a little bit information. If you want to read more onto that, then there are 2 documents, instruction to field staff, volume 1 and volume 2. There you will get a definition of all these variables. Okay. And if some variables belong to a particular method, then you will get a procedure for, you get information regarding that method also. Okay. If there is a formula, then you will get that also, and all those information you will get instruction to field staff. So these are
Sir,
the, yeah.
sir, can you talk about the fifth column, sorry.
I'm coming
The
on to that. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, sir.
So that second one is the block. This one is for item. Okay. So look again. Have a look onto the questionnaire. Okay, there is a serial number and here item number. Okay, so item number also given there. So combining item and block number, you directly uh, and jump on go on to the questionnaire. Sorry, go on to that specific question in a questionnaire. Now come on to this field length, and then we talked about the byte position. So this field length is important for a extraction purpose. Okay. And this field length is the same what you have seen when I was showing you the format of dictionary file. So look here, there are some numeric value attached with the str and also attached with the percentage s. So in a percentage, then numeric value and then s. So these numeric value are basically this field length. It is exactly that. And then after you are having a byte position. So this one is the 1 to 4, 5 to 6. So let's understand this one, field length and byte position together, having a look on the data. So when you open the text file, your data, it will take some time. So not responding because it is a big file, it takes some time. So let's open this one. So if I click onto this, so this one is your data file, okay? So data file looks like this. And directly looking on the data file, we can't able to get anything out of it. So you just see some numbers and letters. So starting with the letter FBH. Then after you are having some number, then again letter, then number and so on. Okay. And it is because our data set is in fixed byte format. Okay. So so the format of the data set one is called a fixed byte format. Okay. And we can read this fixed byte format after dividing this data into different columns. Okay. And for dividing this data into different columns, okay, you use this field length and byte position information. Field length means, look here, the file identification having a 4 field length, then schedule having a 3 field length. So it is written here in a order, in a same order. Informations of those variables are given in the data file. That means the for 4 byte position belonging to the field identification. Then next 3 byte position belonging to the schedule. Then next 2, one is for quarter and so on. So that's why this field length is there. And byte position, one is just a position of that particular variable. That means 1 to 4th byte belonging to the first variable, which one is the file identification. 5th to 7th byte position, one is for schedule, and 8th to 9th position, one is for quarter. Let's have a look on the data again. So the first 4, one is FBH1. So FBH1 is for field identification. That was in data file, file identification. And file 1 is first visit household file. So that's why it is the first FBH1. Then next, what was there? Next 3 byte position belonging to schedule. That means 104. So 104 is, you are working with the 10.4 schedule. So that's why it is 104 is there. Then after quarter variable, so in a data file the quarter is given. Again it is having a 2 field length and byte position is 8 to 9. So 8 to 9 byte position belonging to quarter. Which one is here? Q5. So Q5 is quarter variable, and so on. And these are the value for other variables. So what I told you, require to, and you can say divide this data set in a column, different column. Okay. And dividing this data set into a different column, we require to make a dictionary file, and that we will make using data layout file. So now let's move on to the how we make a dictionary file. So format I have already shown to you. So this one is the format. So we start with the in-file dictionary, curly bracket, then we type str4, then after this one is the short form of variable name. So the first one is the file identification, so I get written as file. Then after percentage and field length, and then after under curly bracket, this one is for labeling the data set. Like we talked about last time, label also. So this one is for labeling the data set. So this way. Now the question arises: how do we construct a dictionary file? So the one way of constructing a dictionary file, you open a text file and type all these things. But if you do that, then that takes a lot of your time. And there will be a greater chances for making error also. So if you're going to type all these things. Okay. Since in this day, data file are available, layout file are available in Excel format. So you use technique of Excel and create a dictionary file. Okay. And the advantage of doing that, there are less chances of making any error. Okay. So almost if you done a bit cautiously, then there will be no error. I'm not saying there would be no error at all. Of course, people do mistake while constructing a dictionary file, even using the Excel procedure or Excel techniques. But if you do cautiously, then you will not do any mistake. Okay? That is a matter of practice also. After having some practice, you will be able to create new file and dictionary file without doing any error. So let's move on to that. So look here, the format one is this one, and you are going to create a dictionary file in this format only. So first we create these things. Okay, so str4 file and this one, and for that I'm copy this one into another Excel sheet. So this one is the state code. So let's suppose that I copied this one. Okay. So look here, for the time being I'm deleting this byte position because I'm not going to we are not going to use just a minute. Delete first. I'm deleting this one since we are not going to use byte position and remark. So I'm deleting this one. So I deleted this one. I'm going to keep this one field length and full name. I may delete item column also, but let's keep it. So the first in a dictionary file, the first column one is str4. So we create first column first, then second column, then third column, and then fourth column. Okay. And for creating that, we will use concatenate command. And how we'll do that? So first, in a one column, I just type str and scroll this one down. I scroll this one down with at the end. Then after, and one thing we need to check here, all the column for a different layout file should be same. Otherwise, there will be chances of making. Look here, all columns are same. So for a different layout data file, columns are going to be remain same. So this one is for field name block. Okay. Or let's see. Okay. Then after, we will have this field length information, because I told you the numeric value given in a dictionary file, one is field length. So when we copy this field length, copy as a numeric value. So go on to the paste special, and in a paste special, you select this value and then you copy. Do not copy this particular thing directly, because when you copy directly, there will be chances of having an error. So when you copy this field length, copy this field length as a value, and then after, for creating first column, you use this concatenate command. Concatenate. So this becomes a concatenate. And then you select this one, comma, and this one, and enter. Now look here. So now we combine this str, which one is the non-numeric term, and numeric value together. So str, and when we scroll this down, our first column is ready. Second column one is variable name. So in a data file, in a dictionary file, second one is variable name. So this you can name accordingly. So if you are going to use file identification as file, so type here file, okay, schedule SC, all in small letter. Okay. Then quarter, and so on. Digit, then sector, then state, then district, then NSS, then stratum, then substratum, then subsample. So it is up to you how you give a name. Then FOD, FSU, then is a sample SG. So look here, SG. Second stage stratum, triple S. Then household number, HSN. Then month of survey, and so on. So after then, I am going to use this variable V1. So use here V1. Since this one is household file, so better to use HV1. So HV1, and then you scroll this one and go till your first layout data file, which one is till 32 serial number. So HB16. So this one become. So now your second column is ready. Now move on to the making a third column. So third column is percentage 4S, and this again you can make using concatenate command. So first type percentage, then scroll this one down and go till here only. So let's work with the first dictionary file. I'm not scrolling that one. Then after, copy this one from here and paste it here. Okay. And then after S, scroll this one down till here and use that concatenate command. Concatenate percentage, comma, field length, and then S. Now you can see the third column is ready. Fourth column you can again make in the same way, inverted comma, scroll this one down till here. Then you copy this one, full length variable, full name column, and paste it here. So this become your. Then you close this one with an inverted comma and use again concatenate command. So concatenate is important. So, and then you use this concatenate command. So when you click onto it, this inverted comma, then field identification, and then this one. Close this one. Now they look your fourth column is ready. After doing all these things, copy all these columns which you are going to use for making a dictionary. So copy this one, then file, then this one, and the last one. Copy this one, open another sheet and paste there. So paste there, delete this one, and you also delete the rest, this one also. So I'm making a dictionary file for household level data set. So this one is these are the information that we required. So after that we required under curly bracket. So in a curly bracket, these are the information, and we read it with that information using Excel technique. So now you are having all those information. So after this, go on to this data, open this do file. So new do file editor you can see on the top. Okay. So open this do file. So that look like this. And here you type in file dictionary. So this one is the command. So copy from here. Okay. So you type in file dictionary. In file dictionary, and under this curly bracket, we paste all these information that we created. Okay. Using concatenate. So copy from here, go on to your do, and paste it here, and then after you close this one with the curly bracket, and save this file as a dictionary file. So when I open this save on desktop, I folder created, which one is NSSO. So in that folder, I am going to save this dictionary file, and I am going to name this dictionary file household first visit. Since this one is the do file given here, you can click onto this and save this file as a dictionary file, not as a do file. Though I started with a do file, but save this as a dictionary file. So click onto this. This will have saved as a dictionary file. So close this one. Go onto your folder, NSSO folder, and in that NSSO folder, you see so in an NSSO folder, we are having your data, all data. This one is for household first visit, household revisit. These are the two. These are the for personal level, first visit, revisit. This one is your dictionary. Okay. So data and dictionary both are here in a same folder. So now our first dictionary file is ready, and using this particular dictionary file, we will extract the household first visit data file. And how you know which information belong to which data? So look here, the file name is given. So this particular information is for data household first visit and household revisit. That means you can use single dictionary file for extracting two data. Which one is the household first visit and household revisit, and this happens only in case of PLFS, because in a PLFS case, household are revisited at least at most 4 times in a particular round. Considering both first and second round together, then you can see there each household visited at least 4 times. So let's not consider that discussion for time being. I'm just saying that this dictionary file that we created using this information. First, you can say the table information or first layout file information given in a layout file. One is for extracting data of household first visit and revisit. The second layout file information given here is for extracting data, personal level data of first visit personal level data, PERFB. Third one is given here for extracting revisit personal level data. So since in a data file you are having a four data file, household first visit, household revisit, personal level first visit, personal level revisit. So household first visit and revisit you can extract using one dictionary file. Personal level first visit and revisit we require to make a dictionary separate dictionary file. But again I am emphasizing here you can use a single dictionary file for extracting two data files, and this happens only in case of PLFS. For the other survey, you need to create one dictionary file for extracting one data file. So now we have our dictionary file and data file together in a one folder. So you go on to this data again and look here in a slide. I have written a command for extracting the data. Which one is at the beginning only? This one. So sixth step after making a dictionary file, you use this command in file using hhv rb.dct using. So this one is the dictionary name, since as I told you this particular dictionary you can use for first visit and revisit also. So that's why just for identification I gave name as like this, and this one is your data file. So what I do, I'm going to copy this one and paste onto the command file. Since in our case I named dictionary file as hhfb. And data file name we require to match the data file also. So data file name under bracket is here hh104 underscore fb underscore final. So let's match whether this name match or not. So this one match hh104 underscore fb final. Okay. So this one is the command. When we enter this command, then process of data extraction starts, and you can see here the data has extracted. So all the variable name are here and label are here. Now you can save this data file, save HHFB. So now the first data, which one is household first visit data, has been extracted. So what we did for it, we made dictionary file and use the dictionary file for extracting this particular data set. For the other data set, we again work in the same way. So since I told you this data file you can use for extracting, this dictionary file you can use for extracting first visit and revisit data file information. So let's clear this one, and I'm going to use the same command for extracting revisit data. So in that case, I just need to change this file name. So earlier the file name hh104_fb. Now I'm going to make this one rb. rb, look here, if you go onto the folder, then rb1 is for revisit data. hh104_rb_final one is for revisit. So I change the data file name, and if I enter, again the process starts, and the data has been extracted. So now you can save here, save hhrb, that one is the revisit data set. For extracting other two data, you require to make two separate dictionaries. And the procedure for making a dictionary remains same, irrespective of which round of survey are you using. Okay. After 2004 and 5, all NSSO data set comes with a layout file in Excel form. Before 2004 and 5, you will get layout file in a text document form. So in a text document, since in this day again advancement of technology, we can convert that into a Excel, and once that will be converted into a Excel, you can use the procedure that I told you for making a dictionary file. Okay. Sometimes if conversion of text to Excel not possible, so in that case you will have no other option, but you have to type all these things by yourself. Okay. So more with a more older data set we work, more difficulty you face, not only in terms of extraction but also in terms of many other things. Okay. The recent data set are clean data set. Okay. Here the one data set has been extracted, it hardly create any problem. Okay. But with the older data set, since on those days the people work with the typewriters. Okay. So there is a chances of having many errors. Even with the older computer having their own limitations. So, so before 1990s, in India there was no computer. Okay, not all office uses computer. Of course, might be there one. When the computer was invented, anybody would like to tell? कब invent हुआ था computer? It was in 70s, I think. As I remember. Okay. You may check this one. So it happens. So with the working with the older data set is difficult. Okay. That requires more effort as compared to working with the recent data set. So these are the procedure for extracting the data. So if I move on to my presentation, then we have done extraction part. So all the explanation that I gave to you are given in the slide. Okay, so even if you go through the slide, you will find all the relevant information. This we had talked about. Yeah, this one is the same thing that we have talked about. This one we 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 talked about. Just and I'm letting the audience know about the procedure. So I written each and everything. Okay, so this one we talked about. We have extracted the data using this particular command. So this one is for extracting the data for other surveys, other NSSO surveys. Okay, so let's uh, move on to this slide. So once we extracted data, we check our data whether we extracted the data properly or not. Okay, or this one is for particularly for checking whether any sample size of the extracted data match with the NSSO sample size or not, and or you can say this is another way for checking we have extracted the data successfully, and for that you use this count command. Count, and you can see here the total number of observation is 1,34,527, and we match this total number of observation with uh, uh, the information given in a readme file. So open the readme. That is, so readme is in supporting document. If you open that, then number of observations for household first visit data file one is 1,01,579, and in we are getting this in our case it is a revisit. So in the revisit case it is exactly matching 1,34,527, and in our case it is 1,34,577. The same you can check with the first visit also. So you can type use household first visit, and then we type this count command. So you can see here number of observation is 1,01,579. So first visit information contains all the household information that was visited for first time. So as I told you, in a one round, one household visited at most four times or at least one time. So and first visit household data file contains all the household informations that was visited first time in a year. So if that household visited second time, then informations of that household given in a revisit file, not in a first visit file. So all household who visited first time, okay, for first time, those household information are given in this particular data file. So first visit household data file contains 1,01,579 households. So this one is the household. Okay. For person belonging to this household, number goes to 4,20,757. So this one is the persons belonging to this 1 lakh household. So when we extract personal level data file, we will see this number. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, revisit में number of observations, why is it higher than the first visit?
क्योंकि एज आई टोल्ड यू ना कि एक जो हाउस होल्ड है उसको कई बार विजिट किया गया है. तो जैसे कि लेट सपोज दैट जिसको पहली बार सर्वे डिवाइडेड इनटू 4 क्वार्टर्स. ओके, 1 2 3 4। तो जितने भी हाउस होल्ड को फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में विजिट किया गया होगा, उसी हाउस होल्ड को सेकेंड क्वार्टर में भी विजिट किया गया है, थर्ड क्वार्टर में भी, फोर्थ क्वार्टर में। So you'll have a multiple observation for that household, okay, for different visits. Are you getting me?
यस सर, सो मतलब रिविजिट में जो तीनों रिविजिट्स है 2 3 एंड 4 उनका
हाँ।
कंबाइंड है।
कंबाइन है तीनों, यानी जो जितने भी हाउस होल्ड जो फर्स्ट विजिट में विजिट किए होंगे, उनके यहाँ पे 3 इंफॉर्मेशन होगी। एक फर्स्ट विजिट, एक सेकंड विजिट की होगी, थर्ड विजिट की, फोर्थ विजिट की। जो सेकंड विजिट में जितने भी हाउस होल्ड विजिट सेलेक्ट किए होंगे, सर्वे हुआ होगा, उनका यहाँ 2 एंट्री होगा, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ का। थर्ड विजिट वालों का सिर्फ 1 होगा, फोर्थ विजिट वालों का नहीं होगा। गेटिंग मी?
यस सर, गॉट इट।
So that's why you are having a different number, and that is the reason for having a higher number. Okay. So 1 lakh observation means 27,000 around, it's not 26 or 27,000 household visited in a one quarter. So in the first quarter 27, then 27 and so on. So that's the case. Okay. So now we matched our data with the readme file and we ensured ourselves we extracted the data set correctly. And now you move further, and in the next we are going to talk about generating weight and unique ID. So okay, let's then talk about the weight first, and then we talked about the unique ID. Yeah. So in a weight case, as I told you earlier, we use the information given in readme file. So in a readme file, this one is the formula for generating weight. Final weight equal to MLTS divided by 100. If NSS equal to NSC, MLTS divided by 200 otherwise. So we use this particular formula for generating weight. So for that we require to identify what this NSS and NSC is, or we can say where this information regarding these two variables are. Or if you want to read more about this NSS and NSC, then you can have a look on the instruction to field start. Similarly with the MLTS, so these are the 4 things which are unknown to us at till now. So for identifying it, if you have a look onto the data, so that we have labeled the data also. So in a case if you do not identify variable, you can check with the label, and if you go down, particularly the bottom of the list, then you can see here are given some sample wise multiplier. This one is the occurrence, number of sector, stratum, substratum, and so on. And since it's a bit confusing at current juncture, so go on to the layout, and in the layout, look here in a remark, information regarding NSP, NSP, MULT are given. So this one is number of count for sector, stratum multiplied by stratum, substratum is your NSS. This one is for NSC. So 102 is for NSS, 103 is for NSC, and 104 for MULT. So in the data set, again have a look. So excluding the last one, 101, 102, 103. So this one. So HB13 is your NSS, So rename this one. So rename HB13 as NSS RENAME. Rename HB13 equal to NSS. NSS already exists. Okay. Just a minute. So, NSS. I named this NSS for NSS region. So you can rename that one. Rename this variable. Look here. This variable NSS to NSSR, NSS region. Now you rename HB13 to NSS, and then you rename HB14 with NSC, and again you rename HB15 with MULT. That is what here? MLTS. MULT multiplier. The MULT given here. So let's MLTS. This I will check this one. We name this one is MLTS. In other data set, okay, we do not, since here remark is given here MLTS, but you get a remark as MLTS. If I am not making any mistake, then number of quarter. So this one is this. Now let's use the formula. So the formula is this one. Final weight equal to MLTS divided by 100 if NSS equal to NSE, and then MLTS divided by 200 otherwise. So for using this formula, we type this one, generate weight equal to, the first one is MLTS divided by 100. So MLTS divided by 100 if, someone in the last class was asking about usage of if. So if is a condition, okay. So we are putting if NSS equal to NSC. So it's showing a type mismatch. Okay. Then of course the question is why it is showing type mismatch. It is because we are using a formula, and for using a formula we required all our variable in a non-string format. Since we extracted our data set and we extracted our data set in a string format, so look here, all data's color are red. Okay. So what we do, we close this one and first we de-string all our data so that we can work with that data. So for that I type de-string dot replace command, and now Stata is converting all data set into a non-string form. So if I browse down now you can see only some variables are in red, which one is particularly a non-numeric variable, and rest are converted into the black color. So now it has been converted into non-numeric form. I save this one, save replace command. This we learned last time, and again use formula for generating weight. So generating weight, generate weight equal to MLTS divided by 100 if NSS equal to NSC. So use this one, missing value generated. Now we type this one, replace command, replace weight equal to MLTS divided by 200 if NSS not equal to NSC. So this one is the one way, and now you can see the all the missing value has been replaced with this particular formula. So this one is the one way for generating weight. Other way we can generate weight with the same formula, but I am going to change the order. Now I am going to write MLTS divided by 200 first, new generate weight 1, I am giving name as weight 1, and then I going to type replace weight 1 equal to MLTS divided by 100 if NSS equal to NSC. So using the same formula but in a different order. So now you can say the weight has been generated, and if I check whether I used generated same weight using two different procedures, then you can see the weight are exactly matching. So it is up to you whether you use MLTS divided by 200 first, and then after MLTS divided by 100 if NSS equal to NSC, or we go with the earlier procedure using MLTS divided by 100 first and then MLTS divided by 200, but the only point to note here, there we need to type if NSS not equal to NSC. Many people do mistake when they work with the generating weight, and so they made a mistake for not applying formula correctly. So if you apply the formula correctly, then you get the weight. So this one is the weight. Okay. For okay. If you work with the personal level data file, and if, in case you are not going to calculate statistics quarterly and quarter-wise statistics, in that case we need to divide weight with 4. That we remember. Only after then we will get a correct estimate. Otherwise, we will get an incorrect estimate. So this we remember. I am telling you this verbally. If you are working with the personal level data file or combination of personal level and household level data file, so in that case we required to divide weight variable by 4. Sorry, by 4 if you are not generating the statistics quarterly. If you are generating the statistics quarterly, then it's okay. I think similarly, I think with the household data file also, okay, because when we started working with, so this data file was available to us last year only, 2020. I think data 17-18 data file was available in 18-19. 18-19 was available in early 2020, and at that when I started, even I struggled with matching my estimates with the reported estimate that we get from the NSSO report, and it was after doing a bit literature review, okay, and I did going through the all the relevant documents provided by NSSO. Lastly, I got to know I required to divide MLT with the 4, and only after we get a correct estimate. Okay, so even with the household data file, we required to divide this one with the 4. So let's generate a new weight, and divide this one with the 4. So divide weight with the 4. So new weight means we have divided weight into 4. Weight 1 I am dropping. So drop weight 1 and save this one, save replace. Okay. So this is the way for generating weight variable. Yeah, we did it here. Sorry. Look, for generating a combined estimates for entire year, we require to generate a new weight. That one is dividing weight by 4. Okay, written here. So now let's move on to the generating weight, unique ID. And so for generating unique ID, you will use this particular command. And unique ID is required when we work with the merge data file. So sometimes we require to calculate statistics by household. Because in a personal data file, let's suppose that this one is the periodic level for survey data set, so we get information of income also. So if there are 3 working members in a particular family and you want to calculate household income, then you require to add all those 3 individual earnings. So for doing that, again, you require this household level unique ID. Similarly, for merging data, if you want to merge household data file with the personal data file so that you will have both of the information together, then we require this unique ID information. So you create unique ID at 2 levels, at a personal level, at a household level. For a household level, you use the information given here. So this one is the quarter, visit, FSU serial number, Hamlet serial number, and so on. For a household level, if you do not want to get an estimate by quarter or visit, even you exclude this one, for household level, you use this last 4 information, FSU serial number, Hamlet group, second stage startup, and sample household number. So let's generate a unique ID for household. So for that, you useegen command. So for generating generating new variable, there are 2 commands. One is gen command, which generally called generate, and another one is egenerate. So if you type help egen, then you will get information about egen, with full form of extension to generate. Okay. And generate is just a generate. So you will get information about generate also. Help generate. So this one is for creating a new variable. So for generating a unique ID, we will use egen instead of gen. So for egen, we type egen. We start with the egen, then household ID. I'm giving a variable name HHID. That one is for household ID, and then I use again concatenate command. Concatenate command. I'm not writing a full name. Concatenate, and as I said, we are using these 4 information for generating household level unique ID, and those 4 information are here: FSU, triple HG is there, yeah, HG is there, Hamlet group, then second stage startup, and then household serial number. In our case, it is HSN. Go on to our data, look here. FSU is this one. So I named that one FSU. Second one is Hamlet group. So Hamlet is SG in our case. I written here SG. So let's rename this one, because if you enter this one, it give you it doesn't give you any result. So first you rename this one. So it's sample group is your Hamlet group. So SG is basically SG. SG I am reserving for social category. So now type the above command egen HHID concatenate FSU SG triple S and HSN. When we enter, it's showing that agent function is incorrect. I think concat, concat. Yeah, it's a concatenate, concat. So it's now that command work, and we have created a unique ID. So this unique ID has been created using concatenate formula. So if you browse FSU, HG, triple S, HSN, and then HHID, we can see here HHID. When you use concatenate command, it combines all these 4 column informations together. So this one becomes your household ID. Now you need to check whether you created household ID correctly or not. So for that there is a command which we call code book. So we type code book and then HHID, because this variable we have created, and when we enter we get a information, and you can see here the unique value is 1,01,579, and that is your number of observation for household first visit data file. So this become your, that means we have created your created one unique ID for each observation, and each observation belonging to one particular household. So that means we have done. For a personal level data file, we require to add this PSN variable also along with the with the FSU, SG, triple S, and household number. Quarter and visit are basically for identifying whether that person visited in a 1 quarter, 2 quarter, and 3rd quarter. If you are not interested into that, then you omit this one. This one even is not required for creating a personal level unique ID. Unless or until you want to categorize them according to their quarters and number of visits. So use this 5 variable only, you will get a personal level information. Okay. So PSN is personal serial number, and when you do this, a personal level data file, personal level unique variable will be created. Since you are not working with the personal level data files, I am unable to do it. Okay. So the next one is merging, and for creating state variable and then creating table. So I am leaving this one till here only, personal level unique ID. In the next class, we will talk about the merging, because this requires a bit familiarity of yours with the NSSO dataset. So I suggest you to visit MOSP website, download the data from there, and start working with that, and do at least till generating unique ID for household and for each person. In the next class, we will talk about the how to merge different NSSO data files. But here you are having a 4 data file. Sometimes it required to merge your data file into a single data file, so that you can work with that. So that we do in the next class, and we also in the next class we generate a state variable with this command. It is a easy, not very tough, and then we do with some tabulation, and after then we will do some tasks particularly related with the employment and unemployment service. So we calculate work participation ratio, work participation rate, WPR. We calculate unemployment. We calculate the average wage earning across gender, across caste, and also many other things. So probably and, and, and you are familiar with the type of employment. So there is a principal status, subsidiary status. So when you talk about the employment, generally we have seen the PSS plus SS. So how to combine those status? Okay. Similarly with the unemployment, there is a method for calculating unemployment. Principal plus subsidiary unemployment. Current daily status unemployed person. Okay. That is also calculating for employment, current daily status employment. So if you do not do all those things, but we do at least a few important you calculate few important employment indicators, particularly as I told you, work participation rate for male and female across gender. Then after you work with the unemployment, then after you work with the wage earning. Okay. If you want to check the occupation, any wage earning across occupation, that we can do. If you want to check the employment status of different social category workers for different industries, that we can do. So I mean to say every question that one is relating with the employment and unemployment of a person or of a social group or any group, that we can do with the NSSO data set. Okay. And since it gives you a micro information, okay, so that is one is more reliable as compared to the any other data. Here I would also like to tell you that in your second assessment, you have to work with the NSSO data. So choose a topic on which you want to work. I do not require any literature review regarding that. You just need to write your statement of purpose of doing that work, listing your objective and methodology for that, and to share that with you as soon as possible for you. Once I approve, then you go ahead and work with that. So this is a statement of purpose which includes a bit introduction, objective, and method. Method in that means what kind of regression model you are going to use for that. So of course I will tell you to make some table also, but or you can come with your own proposal. This type of table I want to make, because when you work with any research, we do descriptive analysis and we also do econometric analysis. So both are part of the current course. We will focus more on econometric for this course. So each of you required to run a regression. Okay. And for doing that, you require to approve your statement of purpose from you. So start working onto that, and probably when you will come for the next class is on Thursday. If not in possible by next class, then by next Monday, you let me know on which topic you are going to work with. Okay, and if you require any kind of assistance, then I will tell my PhD students that they will assist you into that. Okay. Particularly when working with the software and working with the NSSO dataset. So in the next class, I will finish with the NSSO dataset. On Monday, okay, I will take your response on your empirical assessment work, and then I will guide you further. And on Monday, I also take your doubts relating with the data and also relating with the software. So Monday class will be the doubt class. So next class, Thursday class is again on NSSO data. Okay. So that's much for today. I suggest you start working with, because working with the NSSO data, it's not tough, but it is engaging. It takes your time. Okay, so you have to give a bit time to it. Otherwise, you will lack in learning. Okay, so this much for today. If you have any question, then you can ask me. I'm going to stop recording.